man, a lot of notifications are going off. Ooh. Making sure the bot is working the way it's supposed to. I always forget to do that. Every time before I start streaming. I always forget to open up Streamlabs. I know that I have it on my stream deck. I always forget to do it. Luckily, I noticed that it wasn't open. Because one time I went with the whole stream without realizing that it wasn't even open. How's everybody doing this quarantine? I know it's been difficult for a lot of people. Simply because of not going to work and thanks, Zenix, I appreciate it. Oh, it's crazy because we're all in this period of time where we don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like that whole idea of not knowing is causing people to get scared. My grandmother included is very overwhelmed. Basically just scared of where the world's at right now. And it's kind of, I guess, it's kind of one of those things, like, me as a streamer and as a content creator, especially during this time, I feel like there is a sense of responsibility we all have, that is to figure out how to entertain people. There's no sports on right now. There's nothing on, for people to watch. Like, this isn't a normal time period. I had tweeted out the other night that I greatly appreciate you guys. That I called you guys my quote-unquote crowd, for lack of a better term. As, the stories that I tell through these characters, RCW wrestling, is something that I love doing every week. Every day, mind you. It's something that I love doing all the time. And I don't just love watching it. I love carrying everything out. So it's fun being able to do this content for all of you, and fun being able to, I guess, through all of this quarantine BS, it's fun just sit at home and record stuff and make content. I've noticed now that I mean, of course, I got, my college that I still have to be responsible for, but I've noticed now that it allows to take some extra time, willing to put aside time for content creation. That includes my book, and just everything that I do. And quite frankly, during this time, it's easier to keep your mind busy doing something. And I feel like that's what's driving people nuts, is that they're out of their routine and they don't have something to keep their minds busy. So, in light of that, I hope that however you decide to entertain yourself is enough for you to get your mind off of stuff that's going on right now. I understand how difficult that is, and how one of those things that's easier said than done. But anyway, that's enough of this happy story. As I completely started this match with Randy Orton and Finn Balor, and had to pause it because I realized, I started it. Need to click the button. But I got something really special for you guys leading up in the RCW Rebirth pay-per-view, which is 2 episodes away. It's like my first time like making something special, or you know, it's kind of like a side note, side content thing for producing it. Oh, what a drop kick there by Finn. But something really cool that I guarantee you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with. Randy Orton tries to get Finn Balor back into the ring. And I had a chance to watch WrestleMania this past weekend. Split into 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. I have to say I commend for all the WWE superstars willing to do that. In front of nobody. In front of a crowd. Or not in front of anybody. With in mind that there are people watching it. It's difficult for them because they have to, you know, they're so used to performing in front of an audience that that's kind of gotten taken away from them. So it is as weird as fans to watch it as it is for the talent that's doing it. Orton is just taking it to Balor right now. But I enjoyed it. I really, really did enjoy it. I thought it was very well done, and I started to think, you know, since it was like pre-taped, that I wouldn't mind if WWE did that all the time with their shows, because like it seemed that because of this virus, because of what's going on, that they were able to make a better show than they ever have, simply because of having to quickly change it. And I can only wish that if they did that with every single show, with fans in the crowd, that it would be more fun to watch as a fan at home. Up there to Finn Balor. Seems that Finn has no answer here with the onslaught of Randy Orton's offense. Looks for the DDT there on Balor. But a lot of you have been asking me about the book and you know, kind of sort of a timeline on when it could be done. A lot of work goes into making the book for sure. There's an RKO there from Randy Orton. Finn Balor kicks at it too. As far as the a timeline, I kind of want it done by late summer. So you're talking probably August, which is totally doable in terms of writing it. I'm not saying it's going to release in August, but as I see it, I could definitely have it done written-wise by August. And Balor again going for that springboard drop kick off of the second rope there. But I would definitely love to have it done by August, because you know this is possibly one of the greatest adventures, that, for lack of a better term, when it comes to projects, if you will. Of stuff that I've done. You know, obviously I still have, you know, RCW stuff. Everything is Finn Balor, props Randy Orton, but you know, this is a project that definitely takes more time than just your typical writing of storylines for RCW, because, you know, a lot of this stuff is going to be detail as Finn Balor hits in 1916 here on Randy Orton, and for the win here on a 2, and Randy Orton kicks out at 2. But like, I'm really excited for it because I've always been into creative writing. I was younger. You know, I started writing poetry like back in like middle school. And you know, at my high school, they actually had a magazine called Ink and Art, and you know, you could submit you know, poetry, written pieces, art that you did, stuff like that, to get put in the magazine, and people could, and it was like an online thing that people actually looked at. And I had like maybe 2 or 3 poems that were in that, and I didn't consider it to be that special because honestly, I don't know how many people actually looked at that. But I guess you could say that that was like my first like recollection of ever having published work done, as Randy Orton getting in here over Finn Balor to gain some momentum in his match ahead of his match at RCW Rebirth, where he will be taking on Shawn Winner's Carnage Championship. But I'm excited for it because it's gonna give you a little bit more insight on the Outlaws. And yes, there is like series that I'm doing that are kind of, you know, backstories, if you will, like the Sky's the Limit Outlaw series, and you know, stuff that I'm doing for the website, recording for the website and stuff like that that are supposed to be, you know, backstory. But there's only so much that you can tell within a 10 minute to 20 minute video, and that's on average of, you know, videos that I record. You know, so having a book allows for everything to kind of be fleshed out. There are some things that you are going to see that are very similar to what you'll see in those series, but I don't want to give anything away, like anything like too damaging away. But you can check out the first 2 chapters of the book in my Discord, the Command Discord. It gives you a link to my Discord server, and I actually created a couple new channels in there for you guys to access. And one of those channels is the writing, and basically what it is, it's for you guys to, you know, if you guys are creative writers, you know, whether it's, you know, poetry, or you're writing a book or something, whatever it is, whatever it is that you are writing that is creatively, that is creative, like in your mind, because I hear this BS excuse a lot that people say that they aren't creative, and I believe that everyone is creative. It's just a matter of do they want to work, because creativity takes a lot of work. You know, creativity, you know, is takes a lot of time, and you know, I feel that a lot of people say that they aren't creative. You know, people are like, "Oh, I'm not as creative as you, making this whole universe and stuff like that," and you know, they're like, "Well, I think it's pretty cool that, you know, have these characters the Outlaws have and everything," and I appreciate all that feedback, but you know, I am just an ordinary you know, guy. I don't consider myself any special and creatively, as Flex here, but I don't consider myself anything special in creative wise. You know, a lot of I think I like to put it as life is a story. Your own life. There's a reason why there are autobiographies out there. You know, everybody has their own life story, and in a way, you could turn that into a book. You know, it's you know, so you don't have to have like really extravagant things happen to you to get people to read it. You know, I've made some really good friends like Cynics, Lev, and Real Fat Tony, and you know, really awesome guys that have, you know, we all know each other, you know, to a certain degree where we know each other's lives. You know, and I think that's a great thing. And like I said, you know, you can easily write a book on your life. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. I feel like the trouble is that a lot of people don't know how to word things, know how to put things into words. They know what they want to do, but they don't know necessarily how to go about it. Which is understandable, which is something that every creative person experiences, every writer experiences. You know, yeah, so keep that in mind. If you ever have any questions on anything that you have that you want feedback on, definitely like put a link in the, whether it's like a Google Doc link, something that you think, you know, you want feedback on. So you can feel free to check that out, as well as obviously there are the links that I have there are the first 2 chapters of the book. And those are the only chapters that I will be sharing of the book, as like kind of like sneak peeks. So you guys won't see any of the other chapters, because otherwise I'd be giving too much away. You know, but the first 2 chapters, I wanted you guys to read them, kind of see where the story is at, kind of keep you guys guessing a little bit, because on the second chapter, I'm just gonna say that it ends in a way that will make you want to. Sky is looking on as sister getting pinned here by Mia Yim, but at 1. With a kick though, take advantage, win a knee right to the face. Win a kick right to the back. Definitely serves some problems there. Couple of punches to the midsection here. Breaks out of it. Now Luna going for a couple of knee strikes of her own. Ooh, but a quick kick to the midsection stops it. Cracks a little bit of reversal there. She hesitated a little bit. Possibly tired herself out too much there. Ooh, and an elbow right there from Mia Yim as these ladies going back and forth here. Again in a kick to the back. Yim goes for the cover. 1, 2. Again, when it kicks out. Also, a lot of you have been asking about the emotes. I had just gotten in contact with Dark Arrow the other night, asking about it. He's currently working on those. He sent me versions of them that are colored, so the emotes are, you know, actually process of being colored. The first thing that I showed you guys, like on Twitter, that I shared, that he sent me rough sketches. So now they're actually colored. I offered some feedback on the emotes because I want the emotes to look the best way possible. And I wanted to help out Dark Arrow because as the designer, you know, I understand from a designing standpoint that if you know, somebody's not clear on what they want, then, you know, it's really tough for the designer to give them what they want. You know, so good thing that you know, Dark Arrow, I know that he's helped out a lot of other people of Avenger Friends, and that he's been that guy for emotes for other people and other designs for other people. I know he designed sub badges too. You know, if any of you guys need anything done, I highly suggest going to him. You know, his prices are reasonable, and it's really great work. And you know, he's just an awesome person to talk to too. Throughout the whole design process, he's very transparent, allowing you, give him feedback. Like, wants you to give him feedback, and he wants to make sure that the work that you're paying him to do is exactly what you want him to do. Which not every person in the design business or in the creative business like that is as transparent. I appreciate. I'm really excited because when I sent him the emails, when I sent him a picture, I sent him a picture of all the characters of all the Outlaws, or at least the 4, and he had done the emote of Luna and Mask, and even the rough draft of it, with it being like colored a little bit, having the black and white on Luna's mask, like he did that perfectly. He was like, it's gonna look even better, and I was like, well, how is it gonna look better than it already is now? Because if that's just the rough sketch of it, or if that's just the rough, coloring of it, like, how is it gonna look better than it already does? Well, I'm really excited to see what comes up with for the final product. So those will be coming as soon as possible. As Luna hits the dawning here on Mia Yim, looking to get the victory here, 2, and Mia Yim with the kick out of 2. Guys enjoying every second of this. Luna with the knee to the back, but Mia Yim finding a way out of it. And the quick reversals from Luna. And a little bit too much here as Luna goes up to the top. Possibly looking for that corkscrew splash, but Mia Yim got the knees up. Got out of that. Oh, but Mia Yim got caught into the dawning again, right in the middle of the ring. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and 3, and Luna gets the victory here. 2 episodes away from her title defense against Ariel. Now, a lot of questions have been rising with Ariel and Sky Outlaw, as in a previous episode, they were in a Ravage cage match, which was a 5-minute cage match in which you had 5 minutes to escape the cage. And after 3 restarts, I was able to finally get over that cage and descend to the floor. As the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the RCW Tag Team Champions, look to take on the New Day here with Big E and with Adam Cole at ringside for the Undisputed Era. So this is the first time we have seen Adam Cole and Big E at ringside, or at least for Adam Cole anyway. It's the first time we've seen him at ringside since the Undisputed Era have won titles. And I turned entrances off so that we avoid any crashes. So if you're wondering what's going on with that, off. Kyle O'Reilly starts here on Kofi Kingston here. The quick strikes there from Kyle O'Reilly, and there is a reason why they are the RCW Tag Team Champion. They made their way all the way through the RCW Tag Team Championship tournament which they were able to become champions after Rock and Hydro were forced to vacate the titles due to conflicts with. So, fortunately for them, well, they had to vacate the titles without losing them. But, I promised them that once they figured everything out, that they would get a title shot in the future. Because to me, it's not fair that you have to vacate your titles if you don't lose them. Unless, you're injured or something like that. But it's kind of bad for them. Considering that I believe they never actually got a chance to defend those titles. That's something that almost every champion looks forward to, is defending their title and further cementing themselves on top of the mountain. The tag team roster that we have in RCW, it's uncanny to find out who exactly will be the tag team champions after RCW Rebirth, as the Young Bucks will be taking on the Undisputed Era after getting a win over the RCW Tag Team Champions. Now Kofi stomping away here on Kyle O'Reilly here in the corner. Now possibly one of the most talked about matches that is coming up at RCW Rebirth is the RCW World Championship, as Xavier Woods tags in here, and that match, Brian Outlaw versus Chris Danger. Now, as far as stipulations, we don't know quite yet, but I know anything about the Outlaws. They don't back down from talent. So I just hope that Chris knows exactly what he's getting himself into, because the Outlaws, they're definitely something else when it comes to having the titles on the line, or defending their titles, or possibly earning a title. They are, I'd like to think that anyone that's ever graced a wrestling roster would understand that when opportunities arise, have an opportunity to get a title, to call yourself a champion, that a fire is lit in you at some point. Whether it's during the match or in preparation for the match, or whatever it is. But also, when it comes to the preparation of a match, definitely cannot let all of that go to your head. That could also work against you. So, no telling exactly what's gonna happen as a Samoan drop there. Adam Cole is loving every second of this as his team, as his boys, taking it to the day right now. Ooh, but Xavier Woods finding a way out of it, able to tag in Kofi. Kofi is in here. Kyle O'Reilly looks to use the ropes, but no avail there. Bobby Fish saving his tag team partner, tagging himself in. Oh, but Kofi Kingston with a neck breaker ready for him. I'm really excited to have those emotes, because I've had sub badges for a while, and I've had affiliate for a while, and I've always thought about emotes. It never really crossed my mind, because it was like, okay, I have sub badges, and I've had those for a while, but I have no emotes. And I was like, so what's the point in people, sub into the channel if they don't have like freaking emos. I mean, you know, I always like to, you know, when it comes to subbing to the channel, there's a little bit not only of incentive of supporting the streamer, but you also get like, you know, really cool emos. Those are just really cool to use in other people's chats too. Like, I can't wait to start using my own emotes in other people's chats. Like, that's gonna be cool. Xavier Woods gets right back up. Oh, Bobby Fish looked for that kick, but it took a little bit too long. Again, looked for the kick, but DDT there from Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods going for here. Or Kofi King, or Xavier Woods. That is Xavier Woods, but I thought, but that sounded like Kofi Kingston. Bobby Fish almost got pinned there. First open to the corner, and Bobby Fish is in trouble here. The Unicorn Stampede. You're in the corner. Big E looks on there. Oh, and finally with that drop kick. Crowd is loving every second of this match, and I think I am too as well. The Undisputed Era cannot be loving it though. Oh, and Kofi Kingston looked for the boom drop, but Bobby Fish got out of the way there. Mullen drop there. Kofi's troubles. Now looking to turn Kofi over into the fish hook here. Fish hook here. Locked in on Kofi, but Kofi gets out of it. I don't know if that was such a good decision there from Bobby Fish, but wanted to end it. Oh, looking for the sleeper hold here. Looking for the sleeper, and Kyle O'Reilly saves Bobby Fish. This chemistry here from the Undisputed Era. Be outmatching the New Day, who knows? Huge suplex there from Bobby Fish as again Kyle O'Reilly getting tagged in. Exactly what they want. Wear down Kofi, who I believe is the more athletic, more agile of the two here in this match. Nothing against Xavier Woods, however, but you know, if you got to worry about anybody, worry about Kofi as Kofi makes the tag to Xavier Woods. That plan, it just slipped from its fingers here. Elbow right there to Kyle O'Reilly. A little bit, Kyle gets right back up. Arm, I thought he might have been going for a kick right after that. Looking for these quick strikes here on Xavier Woods. I wonder what the Undisputed Era has planned here for the New Day. Oh, and Xavier Woods deciding to go to the outside, but Kyle O'Reilly takes a moment. Oh, I thought he might have been going for the guillotine, but used it differently, and now Bobby Fish gets tagged in. Kofi Kingston starting to stir on the outside there. And just as Kofi Kingston is getting back on the apron, Bobby Fish is right there. Oh, but Xavier Woods, though, is a legal man. Definitely cannot do weary. Oh, and a duplex there. from Xavier Woods. Uh-oh, wheelbarrow. Into a pin here. 1, 2. And Bobby Fish with the kick out. Bobby Fish still somehow able to get the shoulder up there, and I thought it was over, but it looked like Kyle may have been able to break that up, but who knows. Two men are sweating right now. They are tired. I think Xavier was trying to go for the tag there. Nothing to it. The corner, shoving him into the corner. And a German suplex following that up. Good sequence there. Bobby Fish looks to end Xavier Woods, but a reversal from Xavier. Huge reversal from Xavier. He may have saved his team there, but Bobby Fish catches the foot of Xavier Woods, turns him around to an exploder suplex. Turning his attention to Kofi Kingston as he knocks him off the apron. Bending Xavier Woods. Making any type of tag there. Oh, tried for the elbow. Oh, but a kick right to the side of the face. Cover. 1, 2. And Xavier Woods kicks out. Xavier Woods got the shoulder up there. Now Bobby Fish is looking to end this. Looking for the fish hook, but again, Xavier Woods able to get out of it by, I believe, getting his hand under the rope at least. Irish whip now. Kofi Kingston is now on the apron. And what a back and forth match this is. These guys are going constant. This is a constant back and forth onslaught of offense. Xavier Woods has been in this match so long. Now it may be over. Kyle O'Reilly looks for this armbar. This armbar submission here. Kofi breaks that one up. Kyle O'Reilly takes care of Kofi Kingston with that suplex. At least he won't be breaking moves up for a while. Oh, almost had him, but Xavier Woods with the reversal. Oh, ducked under the clothesline there. Doing these strikes. These insane strikes here. Bobby Fish gets tagged in. Been an absolute mauling of Xavier Woods. I don't think I've ever seen Xavier Woods torn to shreds as badly as he is getting right now. Oh, what a quick reversal there from Bobby Fish. Oh, and a kick right to the chest of Xavier Woods. And another one. Kofi again. Making his way to the apron. Oh, and a neck breaker. Xavier Woods tried to catch a breather. Again, Bobby Fish is right there. Tried for another kick. Cutter. No, Xavier Woods. Unable to do anything. Not able to do anything but a kick. What a kick. The side of the face of Xavier Woods as he lays there motionless and again taking care of Kofi. 1, 2, and Xavier Woods able to get the shoulder up at 2. I think maybe Bobby Fish took a little bit too much time. Possibly trying to go for the fish hook again. We're going to do the fish hook again. Fish hook one more time. Trying to get Xavier Woods to tap out. And he does. Gets Xavier Woods. As the Undisputed Era are able to get the win, but not without a fight between the New Day. Kofi Kingston almost broke that up again. But the Undisputed Era gained some much needed momentum after that loss to the Young Bucks. Heading into their match at RCW Rebirth there. We haven't seen Jason Outlaw in a while. He's going to take on the Velveteen Dream here. Yeah, so I will definitely let you guys know whenever the emotes actually. Are actually able to be used and everything else. Obviously I also got a podcast screen happening for the Angle podcast, which is a podcast which you haven't done it in a while. It'll possibly come back this weekend someday. I have to talk to Chaotic and Young Sin about it. But it's a podcast that's about wrestling. Me and Chaotic and Young Sin, my two co-hosts, talk about wrestling. We have a topic on wrestling. We have little notes that of subtopics we kind of go over within the overall main topic of an episode. And we have, a segment in which we answer your viewer question. On Chaotic's channel, as he streams on Mixer and Twitch. On his, and it's also on mine as well, so however you want to watch it, whoever's channel, they will have the screens to it as well. I will have to send Chaotic anyway the screen of it once I get it from Chronic. Been a couple weeks. I asked him about it. Hopefully he'll be able to get back to me on that. But I'm excited. A lot of things are coming to the Twitch channel, and putting like emotes, obviously. And it's kind of cool, just to see how much, the channel has evolved from, because when I first started streaming ever, before the Botch TV brand and everything else, I was streaming from my Xbox. And I eventually got an Elgato and streaming, stuff like that. Then eventually, I decided to just take my wrestling, sort of create that into a brand. Exactly what I did is the second cross body there. And, you know, I've made the Outlaws into a brand. I have my merch store now, which I'm happy to say that, you know, is doing well. And I say that in the sense that you guys love the shirts, you guys enjoy the shirts, you guys are buying the shirts, which is awesome. Obviously not a requirement, the fact that you guys are. Green Valley Driver there, Jason there. Pick out early on. But just the fact that you guys are buying the shirts and even, you know, caring enough to buy the shirts, is awesome. You know, I own some of those. You know, I tried to make them affordable. You know? As much as you know, it supports me because I get out of the money that happens, that comes from those, you know, merch of the mugs, stuff like. You know, to me, it was never. It's never about me. Nothing. None of this at all is a monetary value. I think it's a common misconception that a lot of people get when they start streaming. Like, well, I'm gonna stream and I want to do it. Which you can do that. You know, some people get lucky enough to where they're able to do it as a job. But to me, like, people ask me often, like, if I were ever to hit partner, if I were ever to get to that point, you know, would I want to? And honestly, yeah, like, I feel like everyone dreams of being a partner. But also, at the same time, it never really occurred to me, because the minute you look at something as a job, and it feels like a chore to you, is kind of foreshadowing where it may not be as fun. Jason hits the BR here on the Velveteen Dream. Now looking for a pin here. 1, 2, 3, and he gets the early pin here off of the Velveteen Dream. And so, you know, I just love doing what I do, and all the storylines that I tell and all that, you know, because that's really what it's about. It's subs and bits and everything, awesome, all of that, all of this, whether it's through subs, follows, or even being here watching, I appreciate all of that. But I would say the most fun thing and the most rewarding thing out of everything that I've done is I've made some really badass friends over this, you know, and I've talked to a majority of, you know, people like Xenix, Lev, all of them. I've talked to all of them, and honestly, if it weren't for Twitch, we probably wouldn't know if any of us existed. We probably wouldn't have. We are here at our main event, Shawn Winters versus Roman Reigns. Now, and with that being said, I'm 100% grateful for all of that. Duck under there. Oh, and a huge lariat turning Roman Reigns inside out here on a 1 and a kick out. What a huge lariat from Roman Reigns. Or from Shawn, excuse me. Look for the belly to belly. Oh, but a takedown there from Shawn. I don't know if he got all of that kick there, but the job there. Slaps. Oh, but Roman Reigns coming back with a couple of punches of his own. Nightmare takedown there. Do a pin combination 1. Just a count of 1 there. very early on. Will roll up. Got the power of Roman Reigns, and there goes a sit-out powerbomb there. Pushing him away now. Oh, but a headbutt there from Roman. Lifting him up. Going for probably a Samoan drop, but an inverted DDT instead. Shawn drags Roman Reigns way to the middle of the ring and a leg drop there. But an elbow. Another. To the chest. Leg drop into an elbow drop. Another one there. Roman Reigns is in big trouble here. Shawn looking to throw Roman Reigns shoulder first into that steel. Now looking for this armbar. It's relatively close to the ropes, and Roman Reigns realizing that as he breaks out of it. Oh, but Roman with a right hand. Roman again with a huge right hand. Middle of the ring, not even a 1 count though. Gonna take a lot more than that. Take down Shawn, and again with a right hand from Roman Reigns. Another one. Just very quick strikes from Roman Reigns here. Ooh, a clothesline there. What a great clothesline there from Roman. Elbow right to the back of the neck there. Oh, right for a right hand again. But no, but Roman Reigns seems to have found a way to keep the big man, Shawn Winner, grounded. Shawn Winner, a former NFL wide receiver, positioned into wrestling. For blowing out his knee. I don't know, maybe he just lost the passion for football. I have no idea, but he found a new one in wrestling here as he looks for frozen tundra there. Roman Reigns. 1, 2, and Roman Reigns with a kick out at 2.5. Shawn thought he had him. There's a reason why he's called Magic by his teammates. Former teammates, I should say. But Roman Reigns not going down without a fight here. And a huge clothesline. Roman Reigns unable to follow it up with anything. Series of punches. Oh, but a right hand. Right hand fired back. Belly to belly suplex to the big man. The kick out there. Seems like these two are willing to put out all the stops here against each other in a Falcon Arrow to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns rolls out. Shawn's going after him. Shawn's going after him. Double axe handle, but Roman avoided it. Now back into the ring now. These two go. Now Roman with the... I thought it would have been a neck breaker, but just a shot to the back there. So thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How you like WrestleMania, and who do you think will be called up Raw or SmackDown Live? I think that Shayna Baszler will be called up to Raw. I don't think that her and Becky are done. I will say I think the wrong person won that match. I mean, as much as I've enjoyed Becky's reign, I expected from a story standpoint to have Shayna Baszler win that match and then like dominate in the Elimination Chamber, like literally dominate everyone, and then to lose Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Like, I think Belair is gonna go with her husband. Yes, I think she's going to possibly maybe manage Street Profits, maybe. I've always liked Bianca Belair, so it'd be exciting to see what she's able to do on Raw. But usually when you go to the main roster, your career ends up dying, so hoping that that's not the case for Bianca or anybody that ends up going up to SmackDown Live or Raw, because, you know, we saw EC3 kind of, you know, do the same thing. You know, he was great in NXT, and then they talking about, like, prime time is in, like, the tag team prime time? Or that's what I'm trying to read. Sleeper hold here from Roman Reigns, looking to get the win here over the big man, Shawn Winters. Roman Reigns is bleeding a little bit. Not too much, though, just right on the forehead. It'd be interesting to see what they do, but I don't see them doing anything too big. You know, it's hard to say because of this, you know, the virus and everything. You know, they have stuff recorded up to the next NXT. So I don't know what they plan to do after that, because Florida is initiated a stay-at-home order. So unless they figure out some other place to start recording stuff for Raw and SmackDown, you know, there could be a break to where we don't see. I don't see CM Punk ever coming back. I honestly think, as much as I would love to have him come back, I don't see him coming back, simply because that after everything he went through with Vince McMahon, that he's done. Like, he's not going to, you know, if the money is right, like, money talks. So maybe if, you know, Vince McMahon offered him a wad of cash or something like that to come back, but I don't see him coming back unless, you know, Vince McMahon just gives him an offer that he can't refuse. Considering everything that transpired up to him leaving. Roll over into a Boston Crab here. And Roman Reigns submits here to Shawn Winters. Shawn Winters carries that momentum into RCW Rebirth here in our main event. If Triple H takes over, yeah, but I don't see that happening until Vince is dead. And he just got demoted, actually. From what I've read, he got demoted. I mean, even if, what's up, Matthew? Even if frickin' Vince passed away and everything else, like, I would still see him, like, giving it to Shane or Stephanie or something like that. Like, even though that Triple H is technically in the McMahon family. I don't know why the alerts aren't popping up. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for the follow, Matthew. As far as downloading your character and putting them on, the show here, I don't just do it like randomly to anybody that just walks in. The only reason why I don't do that is because I like to get to know the viewers that come in and everyone else that happens to be a part of my community, because I'm a part of a streamer community, if you will, and it's got like 1,000 people in it, and we all have our individual communities and stuff like that. So I don't just spit out characters, but I don't. It's not that I have anything against you or anything. I don't have anything against anybody. It's just that's how I do things, because like people come in and they're like, can I? It's almost like that joining in Fortnite and stuff. People are like 1v1 me or whatever and all that, and I'm not that kind of guy. So, but that's not to say I won't do it eventually. That's not to say that I won't ever do it. I could do it eventually. I haven't decided. I actually added somebody's character that I actually have to figure out where to put them in the show and figure out when to debut them. So with that in mind, like, I'll keep your character in mind. You can feel free to join my Discord, and then you can put him in. There's a section in there for my show RCW, in which you can put him in there, and like put the information on community creations and all that, and then we can kind of go from there and see where your character will fit in. Because I like to keep a lot of the issues that I have with this show is I have viewers who want their wrestlers in the show, which I have no problem of doing that. But one thing that I do notice is even when I do add them in, I had this one instance where because I used to make wrestlers for people who didn't have wrestlers already, for community creations. Because I make a lot of these characters, like Sean Winters is a Caw. He is a character that I created, and I also use the WWE superstars, the regular roster in game. And one thing that I do notice is that I've had run-ins with, pun intended, is that I'll add some viewers wrestler and they'll be on the roster, but they won't be booked yet. And simply that is because I create my storylines like way ahead of time. So Matt, to kind of give you a little bit of the rundown is how the show works, since you're new and everyone else here, if anybody else is new in here, is the show, each season is 20 episodes a season. So we're already at episode 18. We just finished up episode 18. So basically, how this works is there's 2 pay-per-views a season, with every 10th episode being a pay-per-view. We had RCW Destiny way back at episode 10. And then we have RCW Rebirth, which is going to be the season finale. And then once the season finale, or once that pay-per-view is over, I take a little bit of a break, write storylines for the next season. And then I start it up again. And then the same cycle goes over and over and over again. Except when I get to the mid-season finale, so like the 10th episode, I take a little bit of a break again to write storylines for the second half of the season. So a lot of these storylines, they build and they evolve just like they should in a wrestling show. WWE doesn't always do it in the best way, and we all know that if you've watched WWE before. So we all know how bad the storylines can be in there. So basically, the gist of it is I had this viewer that I made a wrestler to make her a part of the universe because she didn't have one created already. So I went ahead, spent like 2 or 3 hours making that wrestler, and then she wasn't getting booked because I didn't have a storyline for them. Because what a lot of WWE wrestlers end up going through is that Vince McMahon has nothing for them, or creative has nothing for them, so they're just a jobber, or you'll only see them every once in a while. And, I don't like to have that with my wrestlers. Unless they're like, I have a storyline where somebody's injured, I like to have wrestlers that are, there. I want you guys to be a part of this, and, to not to have your wrestler booked as some jobber, or to have your wrestler not booked in something that's going to be fun and compelling to watch sounds stupid. So with that in mind, I'd rather make a storyline and have something planned out for your wrestler than to just throw them in a match just to throw them in a match. So when people's wrestlers have a debut, I want it to be impactful, whether they attack somebody from behind, or that they come out and they challenge somebody, or whatever it is. I want all your wrestlers to have an impact, including the ones that I've made myself. So with that in mind, Matthew, you can go ahead and send me the information of your wrestler. I will look them up. There is no limit to what overall they are. But I like to keep mine, possibly the highest is probably 94. Because I like to create wrestlers that have at least one weakness. So maybe they're not good at submissions, maybe they're not good at this, maybe they're not good at that. And since I play the matches, there's a certain way that I script the matches to go. So, to have your wrestler be absolutely overpowered. For example, Shawn Winters is really tall. I think he's 6'3". I think I made him 6'3", but I didn't make him 7 feet tall to the point where, nobody can wrestle him. He's unstoppable. I'd like to have, wrestlers that, can be viewed as unstoppable, kind of like The Fiend. But The Fiend is booked in the, at least before he lost the title to Goldberg. The Fiend was booked to be an unstoppable force, to beat everybody. And that's understandable because he's a supernatural character. But as a wrestler alone, I don't like to do that. I like for them to have some type of weakness to keep the matches entertaining. Because even though I play the matches, the AI is going to do whatever the hell it wants to do. And which is the computer that's versing me. So I like to create entertaining matches. It's just not entertaining if basically the wrestler is destroying the other wrestler. Squash matches are never really entertaining. So with that in mind, like I said, Matthew, you can go ahead and send me the information of your wrestler. Make sure to download them. They will probably debut in Season 7, so the next season. As far as how they're going to debut, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Like I always do with everything else. You can reach me on Discord. There's also, I have Instagram as well as Twitter and everything else down in my panels. You just click any of those panels down there and you can follow me there. However, Discord is possibly the easiest way to reach me since I'm a part of many Discords. And, you know, I have it right on my phone, so it's easy just for people to reach me there. So with that in mind, I appreciate every single one of you that came out to I hope to have the emotes for you guys as soon as possible. Like I said, I still have to talk to Dark Arrow on that. See what's going on with that. But as of right now, he's mixing them up. And those emotes will be there. And you guys will be able to get some really awesome emotes and be able to use the outlaws, the outlaw character in chat, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. I appreciate all of you guys that are coming. That came out. We are going to quickly be here. Gonna rate off just the right thing to do. Like send you guys somewhere. Give me a minute while I figure this out. Here. Which is kind of funky. Sometimes it can be a little bit funky. I'm gonna go ahead and raid Mr. Icewhite. By him, he's really awesome. He's really funny. For you guys.